Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be diving into something really practical and important, the water body extraction from classified LULC raster using ArcGIS. So what we will be covering today, what LULC is and why it matters, why water body mapping is so important, the Sentinel-2 satellite data that we'll be using as an input, and the step-by-step code walkthrough in the ArcPy so that we are able to extract the water bodies. So let's get started. So what does LULC mean? So LU is basically the land use and LC is the land cover. So let's look at this diagram to understand it better. Land use refers to how humans utilize the land. So how we are going ahead with the land. That's for example the agriculture, the settlements, the industries, the roads. And land cover refers to the natural physical cover on the earth's surface. So there are forests, vegetation, water bodies, soil, wetlands. So these are the land cover. So LULC is a combination of both, which gives us the complete picture of how land is occupied and how it is being used. Now this information is primarily obtained from satellite images or aerial photographs or the GIS data. So let's look at the applications which this supports. So LULC helps in environmental monitoring, so that is tracking the deforestation, urban sprawl, land degradation. Over here also you can see these are the applications. Then it supports urban planning and development by identifying the residential, industrial, the green areas. It is used for water resource management to analyze the runoff, infiltration, the water bodies. In agriculture to study the cropping patterns, land productivity, and it helps in climate change studies by understanding the land surface changes. Now the particular exercise that we'll be doing is the water body mapping. So why is it important? So there are many critical reasons for it. So suppose I want to keep tracks of rivers, lakes, reservoirs. So that is basically for the surface water resource monitoring. So there it helps us. It helps us in flood risk assessment, which is basically identifying areas that are vulnerable to flooding. Environmental protection by tracking wetlands and aquatic ecosystems. It is used for urban planning, wherein we are detecting illegal encroachments on water bodies, which is a growing concern in many cities. And then we have climate change analysis, which is a huge thing these days. We want to observe how the extent of water bodies is changing over time. And then we want to plan agriculture by helping farmers understand water availability for irrigation. So water body mapping is truly a multi-domain tool and remote sensing makes it highly efficient and scalable. Now what is the data source that we are using? So today we'll be working with Sentinel-2 satellite data. Sentinel-2 is an Earth observation satellite launched by ESA, which is the European Space Agency. It provides high-resolution multispectral images for land and water monitoring. So I'll just show it to you rather than just reading it out here. So look at this site here. So this is the site where you can actually get the Sentinel-2 land cover explorer that this link I'll share it with you in the description. So you can see how beautifully the entire area is depicted in terms of land use. And look at the classes. So this is water. The blue is basically denoted by water. Then you have crops are yellow. Snow, ice is white. So all these classes are given. And you can see the coverage also. So it tells you a percentage here of the coverage. And okay, I'll show you something over here. If I go on to the swipe part. So you can see how it is changing from 2017 to 2025. And here I could choose the range also. Suppose I want to just see the range change between 22 to 25. So when I swipe, you'll be able to see how the land use is changing. So let me go to the area that I'm always interested in. So Kanpur, if I want to see Lucknow, Kanpur. So let's look at the changes from 2017. So let's look at the built-in area. You can see 2017 was much more less crowded in terms of built area. And here you can see the difference, how it's expanding. Here you can download the geotiff and you can animate download the animation, also start the animation. So this is a lovely site to explore, and you can actually download the image from here. And this is the image that I have downloaded from here to be able to use in the today's practical. I'll be giving the image also for you, but then you can do it yourself also. So this is how, see, the animation is playing from these years. How the land use is changing, how the water path is changing. And here, if I just want to see the water bodies. So let's come here. So I could build a animation just for a particular water body also and see that for the years that I want to look into. So I'll leave this for you to play around and understand. So this is a beautiful place to start off with the land cover exploration. Now continuing with our presentation here. So normally the cameras that we work on work in the visible range, that is the RGB plane. But Sentinel-2 has 13 spectral bands. And these cover the visible, NIR, short wave infrared regions, and the spatial resolution is right from 10 meters to 60 meters depending on the band that you're talking about. And the best part is that it revisits every 5 days. So it allows frequent monitoring of any surface changes that we have. So these are the bands that I was talking about. So these are 13 bands, and like I said, depending on the band you have the resolution here. So these particular 4 bands have 10-meter resolution, then the next 3 have 20 meters, and the last 3 have 60 meters band resolution. Now you have different applications for this. So a combination of B8, B11 and B4 helps us with the agricultural monitoring. The water quality is with the help of B2, B3 and B4. Land use is, that we are talking about, LULC, is with the help of B4, B3 and B2. So we could also do one thing. We could download the image and we could use the band math like we did earlier to be able to extract these. Otherwise, the LULC is also available for us to download like I showed. So vegetation analysis, you could use the B8, B4 and B3. So all these combinations exist. So whatever area that you're working on, you can explore the bands accordingly and work ahead. Now in today's practical, what are we trying to do? We are extracting the water bodies from the Sentinel-2 LULC raster. We will identify and isolate the water class using ArcPy in ArcGIS. We will convert the extracted water features into vector format. We will also calculate the total area of water bodies. So how we will do it, I will just show it to you practically. So like always, we will start and search for ArcMap, right click, run as administrator. Now let me load the image first. So I have already connected this. Let me show it to you. So in the catalog, I have a folder here which I have created for the LULC specifically. So you can use this basically catalog to be able to connect to this folder. And I have connected it already, so it will be available here. And if you go up, all the connected folders show here. So this is the one that I have for LULC. And you can see there's a LULC image file here. The water bodies has been generated because I've run this once to check the code. But we will add this one. So see here you have this kind of a image which I was showing you here also. These are the kind of images that you have. So depending on my area, so I will select the area and I'll be able to download this particular image here. So I have downloaded this image and it's been loaded here. Now just to understand, let me add a base map to this so that you're able to understand what is happening here and which area we're talking about. So I will just add the topographic map. Okay. So it's loaded here. You can see this is the area which has been downloaded. And if you want to check out the water areas, so see it is automatically. So let's go here first. This, let me right click, go to the properties, and there's something called a symbology here. So you will see here the particular colors show which label. So I have to understand which label do I want to actually segregate. So I can clearly see that blue is probably, this color is what my water bodies is representing, because this seems to be absolutely the water body is correctly mapped. Now see, this is a classification which is just telling me that these are the classes available. How they are mapped, we will need some ground truth data to be able to assess which color is mapped to what. So accordingly, you'll have to figure out, and then you will have to map the color. So green appears to be the, vegetation or trees. So this is how my symbology works. So right now, in my code, I will have to look at label 1 to be able to identify the water pixels and then segregate all those water pixels into a different image. So this is how we work. Now let's go to the code. So ArcPy is the ArcGIS Python library, which gives us access to GIS processing tools like I have been telling you. Now here we are importing all the spatial analyst tools here. Now here we are checking the extension. So it's basically the spatial analyst license is checked here. A particular license that we need is checked whether it is available in my ArcGIS installation or not. If it is not, the script will throw an error here itself so that I can verify whether my license is available or not. Now I have defined my input raster path. So I had showed you this. This is the image that I want to load. This is the image which will be created. So this was already there, but then since I had run the code, it was created. I can remove it also. So let me come here, and all these I will probably just remove here. So I'll just delete these. Otherwise, I have the code which will override this, but nevertheless, I've removed it. So I just have this image here right now. The workspace is definitely this path, like I have said. This is the workspace that I have that I want to connect. And overwrite output, so is true. So even if I did not remove the previous file, it would have overwritten that file once this was created, the waterbodies.tif. Now water class value. So this is 4 right now, but this has to be 1 like I showed it to you over here. And we saw that this should be 1. So that is why this is 1 now, the label. Now this is the most important line over here. So raster inputs, first just understand this, raster input raster. It loads the LULC raster as a Python raster object that ArcPy can actually process. So this has been loaded here, this particular image. And it actually evaluates every pixel. Is this pixel equal to 1? So I'm looking at this and it is saying, is it true? If yes, you put it here. That particular pixel is put into water extract. If it is not true, the output pixel is no data. So it is removed. So only those pixels which are actually falling into this category will be put into the water extract. Then you write the extracted water raster to disk as a geotiff file. So output raster path was given. So it will write down over here as this file. And it will print water bodies have been extracted successfully. Now once this is extracted, I am just trying to load this here so as to visualize whatever I have saved here. I'll be able to see it also. So let's run this code. Come here, open the Python console, paste, enter to just run this. It will take a long time because it's a huge image and it's going to look at each and every pixel to be able to assess whether it's a water pixel or not. So definitely it's going to take a very long time. So you have to be patient. Once it's extracted, then we will load it and then see whether the water pixels are correctly mapped or not. So now you can see water body is extracted successfully. The message has come and this water extract which is now showing here. So you can see here in the LULC, this water bodies.tif file has been created. Now let's load it. So I was trying to load it in that session, but then this becomes very slow because I don't have a very high computational PC here. So I'm starting a fresh session and I'll show you the layer by adding it. So I'll just go here and I'll add you this and I'll add this water bodies layer. So this is the water bodies. Let me just change the color. So I can maybe make it black so that it's kind of more visible. So these are the water bodies that you have in this particular area. Now I could have a script where I could just add the pixels total, and if it is a 10 by 10, I will multiply with 100 to be able to get the total area in terms of meter square for the water bodies. If it's a different resolution, according to the resolution, I will get the size of the water bodies here. So this brings us to the end of this session. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.